A little bit. Last couple of months happened. Going to pull from something today. I want to start off with a real strong story. How many like stories? I don't know if you've ever heard this one. There once was a story about three bears. Mama bear, Papa bear, and a baby bear. And the mama bear and the papa bear and the baby bear went down and made some porridge. I don't even know what is porridge? Is it soup? I don't know what it is. It don't sound good. Let's just say chili. They made some chili. How many likes chili? They made some chili beans with cheese on it and Texas Pete. Let's preach. But there was three bears, and they made a meal of chili beans, and there was a bowl for the daddy, the daddy had the Tupperware bowl. We don't use cereal bowls. We use Tupperware bowls, right, men? And then the medium-sized bowl was for the mama, and the small little tiny bowl was for the baby. And they came down to eat, and they went to eat, and it was too hot. Somebody say, too hot. Y'all don't think I lost my mind up in here, don't you? I'm going somewhere. And so the three bears said, until it cools off, let's go take a walk. Sometimes in life, you just need to take a walk and let things cool off. And while they were gone, a little lady came skipping around. What was her name? Goldilocks. And Goldilocks kind of bebopping. I don't know why she's breaking and entering. We had to get the deep roots of that after a while. But anyway, Goldilocks breaks in their house, walks up and sees a big bowl of stew, of chili, and says, ooh, that's too hot. Gets to the mom, that's too cold. And gets to the little baby, says, ooh, that is just right. So Goldilocks eats that, and she gets sleepy. What's she do? She goes upstairs, lays down, gets in the first bed. It's too hard. Second bed, it's too soft. Gets in the last bed. That is just right. Perfect. Somebody say perfect. I want to talk about today, throw it up there, the Goldilocks syndrome. We're going to preach like we ain't got no sense up in here today. I'm telling you, we're going to preach. The Goldilocks syndrome. What's wrong with the church? I ain't preaching to the lost people yet. I'm preaching to the saved people. Because there'd be a lot less lost people if there's a lot more saved people act like they saved. We have a Goldilocks syndrome. That's just right. We want it perfect. Somebody shout perfect. Let's go to Psalms 23:5. Some of you are going to think you've heard me preach this before, but I'm taking it a different way. Psalms 23:5 says, you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. There's two things happening in this verse. Two things. God is doing something, and devil is doing something. Those two things always will happen. God's up to something, Satan's up to something. In your life, you will make choices depending upon which stimulant you allow to stimulate you more. If God has stimulated you more this week, you have read Bible study more than you looked at pornography. But if the enemy, I ain't preaching up in here, if the enemy has stimulated you, the enemy this morning, you had a contest. You heard that rain hitting the roof. Oh, Goldilocks. The rain was hitting the roof, and you said, ooh. And the devil said, just roll over. God said, you better get out the bed. But in life, that's the process of faith. David is showing us that just because God is present doesn't mean the enemy isn't. I know at the word of Jesus, Satan shall flee, but he don't flee far. He just gets away just long enough. Remember Job? In the book of Job, it says, and the sons of God were gathered together doing what? Praying. All right? Where do you think you're going to find the devil? The devil, number one, the devil is not in hell. Let me say this. The devil does not like hell. That is not his home. That is going to be his judgment. He's not in hell looking up with a red suit and a pitchfork. That's not the devil. The devil, the Bible says in Job, the sons of God are there praying, having church. And God looks down and says, Lucifer. Lucifer says, sup? He says, what are you doing? He says, I'm walking to and fro on the earth amongst your people. And see, the church thinks if we let the world in, we let the devil in with him. Devil ain't in the world, he messing with the church. Maybe if we open up the door long enough to let some world in, the Satan might run out the back. How about you think about it? But we got to understand in life, things are not going to always be perfect.